This is when it gets serious. So you might have a spreadsheet or some sort of documentation that gives you all the data that you've got up until now, and then you'll start listing the properties of interest in this Google or Excel doc, etc. Right, so day 5 was all about what I call the pre-season. You've gone in and introduced yourself to the agents, you've run a beep test, you've started to get your hands on the footy, etc. Now it's about the main season. The main season is I'm fit and prepared and I'm knowledgeable and I've got everything in my kit bag to be able to start to put in offers, right? This is when it gets serious. So you might have a spreadsheet or some sort of documentation that gives you all the data that you've got up until now, and then you'll start listing the properties of interest in this Google or Excel doc, etc. So in my online academy, which again, link in the bio, 110-1, 100 properties viewed, 10 offers by one, the 110-1 rule. Now, it might only be 76 properties, put in 10 offers by one, okay? Why I rounded out to 100, because it's I'm a simple type of person, but the 100 just means that you've done enough research, you've done enough digging, you've done enough due diligence to say, yeah, I know the area, I know what that's worth, I know that I'm not going to pay this amount over that property, I walk away and find the next one. I'm not emotional about the process. As an owner-occ, you're probably less likely to be not as non-emotional, but you can still have that same approach. You get a really good feel for the area, you get a really good relationship with agents, property managers, and anyone else on the ground who's relevant, and then away you go and start to put in offers. These offers need to be subject to, I think, building and pest inspection, satisfactory finance approval as a minimum. You need to have those two clauses in there. Now, based on the days on market and the heat of the market, as to how many offers you can have, how many conditions you can have, for the agent to then say, nah, I'm not going with you, you've got too many conditions, I've got an unconditional buyer over here, and the market and the property is going to be gone by the weekend anyway. But if you're the only one looking, then you've got a little bit of pull to be able to say, yeah, I want to include this clause into this offer, right? Now, depending on which state you're in as to whether it has to be written or verbal or on a contract or whatever, so understand that. That's when we start to engage a conveyancer. Again, if you need one, just sing out. And a good conveyancer will look over multiple contracts, only charge you one fee, as long as it's reasonable, and they'll explain to you what's in the contract. You must have that in a condition as well, satisfactory review of the contract. Okay, so they're probably the key three for me. There might be a few others depending on the type of property and the location that you're buying in, etc. But the 110-1 is what we need to work to. That talks about work ethic, doesn't it? It's not physically going into these 100 properties, but it's definitely looking at videos and talking to agents about up to 100 properties, okay? And my clients that have worked with me over the years who have done this or followed this approach have got some outstanding results. Now, that's not to say that the best deal or one of the best deals might not come along in your 15th or 16th property search, okay? But it's more about that knowledge of, do we understand that market enough to be able to put in an offer when the opportunity presents, I can buy it, okay? So the 110-1 is something that we guide by. Have your listings in an Excel doc so you can see what you've looked over and see what's sold. Go back and see how much that particular property sold for, and then really just be diligent on what you think something's worth. Again, if you're lacking confidence in that space, then you need to outsource it. I believe if you're not going to pull the trigger and there's an analysis paralysis and we can't get to the stage where we're putting in offers, again, it needs to be outsourced. The cost of doing business there will reap you rewards for the next 20 years, I can guarantee that, okay? Or I can't guarantee it, but it will, right? So, 110-1, go hard with it. Get some offers out there, have some fun. Once you put your first offer in, you'll be there just nervous and waiting for a reply, and then all of a sudden by your 10th offer, it's like you're handing them out like Smarties, right? That you just continue to put them out there, non-emotional. All of a sudden you might get a few come back to you successful. Then you can decide which one you're going to go with based on your clauses that you've got in your contract, and then we can decide from there. Day 7, we're going to talk about this offer that's now been accepted and what we do from here.